One of the more esoteric ways to display data is with what Word calls an array. It's like a miniature inline table. This tip demonstrates how to insert these arrays in your document using the EQ field. There may be a time when you need to create an array in the middle of a sentence. For instance, you may need to show a 3x3 mini table within the sentence. Using an actual table can be unwieldy, particularly if you literally want the array in line with your sentence. If you have such a special need, let me show you what you could try. I'm going to click here in the document, right down here, put the insertion point between these two sentences, because this is where I want my array to appear. Now, I'm going to press Control plus F9, and that displays a set of field braces at that point. Notice that the insertion point is between those field braces. Now, here's the code that I'm going to enter into these field braces. The actual field code here is EQ, which stands for equation. How Word interprets the equation depends on the switches that follow the field code. I'll explain each of those switches in turn so that you can understand what is happening. The /A switch indicates that you're creating an array. Without this switch, none of the following switches would be of effect in the equation. The /AC switch indicates you want the information in each cell centered. You could instead use AL or /AL for left alignment or /AR for right alignment if you wanted to. The /CO3 switch indicates that you want 3 columns in this array. If you're using an array in your document, you should change the number in the switch to reflect the number of actual columns you want in the array. Finally, the information within the parentheses indicates the text to appear in each cell of the array, left to right and top to bottom. Notice that each element of the array is separated by a comma. You can also add some spacing switches to this field if desired. For instance, if you wanted 4 points of space both vertically and horizontally between the array cells, you could add a /VS4, that's vertical space 4, or a /HS4, that's horizontal space 4, to the field. To see what the array looks like, with the insertion point still within the braces, I'm going to collapse it by pressing F9. Notice that we have an array of those words that are 3 columns wide and as many rows tall as was necessary to display the words. Now granted, arrays aren't for everyone. In fact, I can only think of a few times when such an array might be helpful. Chief among those times is when you need a little mini table within a line of text. You might be able to think of many other times when such a capability is helpful. For that reason, you might want to experiment with arrays to see if they can be useful to you. I hope that you found this quick tip helpful. If you did, you might consider signing up for my Word Tips newsletter. Every weekly issue is free, and it includes great tips that you can put to work right away. Information is in the notes just below this video. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today.